This year, toast your friends with Andre, America's best loved champagne.
Let's go down to the tasting room.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
One, two.
Hey, Mr. Smiley Face, breezing into town. Shiny, happy people seem to follow you around. Kiss a couple babies, slap a couple backs. Man, that ain't how it plays on this side of the tracks. Nobody gives a damn about your fancy clothes. It won't be very long till...
This is the Wine Nation program. Today we're broadcasting from the Hahn Family Wines estate here in Soledad, California. This is Bill Legion is our guest. He's the president of Hahn Family Wines. How are you doing today, Bill?
I'm doing great. We got a beautiful day here in Salinas Valley, as we always do.
It's absolutely beautiful. This is a beautiful estate. Tell us a little bit about how large it is, when it was founded.
Sure. We're owned by Nicky Hahn at the Hahn family, and we are one of the few family-owned wineries that are still left that I'd call medium-sized winery, which we're very proud of, and it's Nicky and Gabi Hahn. Nicky purchased this existing vineyards here in 1980. And founded Smith & Hook Winery, and then over that time has expanded the vineyards, and we now have about 1,200 acres of vineyards.
It looks like they're in different elevations. I mean, it looks as though the elevations go from fairly down to the ground to up high.
Absolutely. What happened was Nicky Hahn created the Santa Lucia Highlands appellation, and in all modesty,
What year was that?
It was about 1992. That's when it went through, and I think it's one of the most exciting appellations in the U.S. right now, known for Pinot Noir these days, and Gary Pizzoni kind of, put it on the map, and now with the Pinot Noir. So in that appellation, it's all hillside, and it goes from about 200-foot elevation to 1,200 feet.
That's amazing. Where are we right now, approximately? We're right by the winery.
The winery's right at 1,000 feet, so we're probably about 1,100, 1,000, right around 1,000 feet.
Now, this was originally planted to more Bordeaux varieties, but now you've planted Pinot Noir and what other varieties?
Exactly. Nicky's idea was to separate his Cabernet from the valley floor, and little did he know at the time he was creating one of the great Burgundian appellations. And so this was all Cabernet. And over the last 8 years, we've now transitioned to Pinot Noir. We have about 435 acres of Pinot. We have 350 acres of Pinot in Santa Lucia Highlands out of about 650 acres that we own in Santa Lucia. The balance is Syrah, Chardonnay, and a little bit of Merlot left, and Malbec.
We tried, Wine Nation tried the Hahn SLH Chardonnay, the 2006, and thought it was great.
Oh, thank you very much. This is our my newest and, of course, most exciting project, because it's the newest, right? is the Hahn SLH. And those four wines we have, Pinot Gris, Pinot Noir, Syrah, and Chardonnay, are all grown, produced, and bottled.
So they're estate-grown wines.
Right, true estate-grown wines. And we have a Pinot Gris in our Lone Oak vineyard, which is a very special vineyard right next to Gary's Rory's Vineyard, about 10 miles north of here.
We passed it on the way coming in.
And Rosella's Vineyard, which is also one of my favorites. It borders. And the Pinot Gris and Pinot Noir and Chardonnay are just extraordinary from that vineyard. And so we're very proud of those 4 wines. Then the top of the line is Lucienne. And that Pinot Noir is vineyard designated only, and we do 2 right now, the Doctor's Vineyard and the Lone Oak Vineyard.
The Smith & Hook was the original brand for the winery.
Yes, this was Smith & Hook, and there were 2 vineyards. Smith was a horse ranch and Hook was a cattle ranch, and Nicky bought the 2 properties and began and put out the first wine in 1980. And it was Smith & Hook Cabernet, which has long been one of the original cult wines. You know, Smith & Hook Cab is just incredible. We sold out in 6 months last year on the Cabernet. It's a great value at $25.
Wow. How would you describe the Hahn winemaking style? Like, we'll start off with the Cycles Gladiator wines. How would you describe the style of winemaking for them?
Well, I would say that in all of the Hahn wines, from top to bottom, they're fruit forward. It would be the term today. And so you look at Cycles particularly, we want to be clean, fresh fruit, and varietally correct in those. And so we don't do heavy oak and that sort of thing.
Now, I noticed, so on the Hahn SLH Chardonnay, it had noticeable new French oak, real toasty oak with a lot of fruit also.
Yes, and so as you move up, the Hahns have more oak, and the Hahn SLH has the most oak. If you're looking at the Chardonnay,
right.
And when you're in the reserve level, they're doing everything by hand. We're using new French oak. And a larger portion of that, so they tend to be larger, fuller wines.
It seems like tasting through just the different lines, or some samples of the different lines, that they all represent good value at their price points.
Yeah, and that's the number one thing. As I was saying before, you've got to offer great value. In today's terminology, is they call it over-delivering. I don't really like that term, but that's what everybody uses. Right. And to me, the essence of that is when you pop the cork, you got to go, wow.
Yeah, so like a $10 bottle tastes more like a $20 bottle, $20 bottle tastes more like a $30.
Right, and I don't care if it's a $60 bottle. You got to pop the cork and you got to go, wow.
We're here with Bill Legend, who's president of Hahn Family Wines, and I wanted to ask you a little bit about your background and how you became part of the wine business.
Well, that's a pretty sordid story. I don't know. I don't know if you want to hear that or not. Well, I've been in the wine business for 36 years now, and I'm from Texas.
The yellow rose in Texas that I am gonna sing.
From Houston, and my degree is in acting and directing. So naturally, I'm in the wine business. Why else would I be here? And I've been fortunate in my life. People have paid me to do 2 things. They pay me to sing, and they pay me to sell wine. So that's what I've done in my life. So I've been a professional singer since I was 18.
What kind of singer?
I've done mostly classical, but musical comedy is what I love more. And so, I never planned to be in the wine business, but as it happened, I ended up working at all levels. My brother and I started with a retail shop in Manhattan in 1973, and I worked there. I've worked in the warehouses. I've driven the trucks. I worked for a wholesaler in New York, and then I went to work for Winery, and I became the national sales manager of J. Lohr Wines in 1982, and I built that brand. We took that from about 50,000 cases when I was there to 500,000 when I left. And then in 1985, my brother and I and Jerry Lohr and Barry Nico founded Ariel Non-Alcoholic Wine.
Yes.
And we made a lot of innovations to the industry at that time.
The Hahn Family Wines in Soledad, California.
Soledad, California.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.